So welcome back to another video. So you had many requests about this one, so I thought maybe I should do it, it's time to do it. You were asking me about the injection, stem injection for the plants. How does it work? Why should I do it? Why should I not do it? So I thought, you know what, I just make a video about it because I get many DMs and messages requesting, hey, tell me something about this. I know it looks interesting, right? You give an IV to your plant, something new. Does it actually work? Is it worth it? So we're gonna look at this kit here. I have the kit from Ampleafy. It's a spring-loaded kit that you can manually adjust. You have the rubber connector here. This one goes onto the stem of your plant, and you got your syringe with the sucrose solution. So let's go back a bit in the history of this of this technique. Sucrose injection is nothing new. It's been around for a long time. There have been studies done on it a long time ago. The only thing is why it was not done for this plant, for the plant that you are interested in, is obviously because of the legal status. So no one was interested in increasing harvest, increasing cannabinoid content the way that people are now, as the legal market is opening. So basically, sucrose injection just helps the plant to have more carbon and more carbohydrates because it's hard for the plant to take them in through the soil. And the sucrose is helping with that. And if you go straight into the plant can absorb it easier, and it helps the plant to grow stronger roots as well. And it is increasing harvest and cannabinoid content. And actually now you might say, this is some made up story or something. It's actually not, because the guys who make this kit, they did a study on it that clearly shows like how much it improves the dry flower mass and how much it improved the cannabinoid content. So there you have it, basically an IV for your plant. It's easy to set up, really is just like that. You take the syringe goes into the system here, and this gets connected to one of the branches of your plant that you cut. You connect this rubber connector here, and this will give a constant pressure of 0.5 bar. You adjust how many milliliters you want to add. You can go by, let's say, as an example, I do 1 milliliter per day. You just turn it. It will inject with 0.5 bar, 1 milliliter, which will take some time because it doesn't just flow straight into the plant like it's an open tube, It takes some time to go in. And actually, I was quite surprised with the rubber connector because it works great. It's not leaking. And if you have pressure on here, you can even see how it's expanding a bit and it's not leaking at all. So this design for the plant is great. What else is there to say? So like I said, it helps the plant to take in more sucrose or glucose, which helps the plant to develop roots and which helps with the end harvest. You will have bigger flowers, you will have more dry weight, and this is pretty much what you want. And that's why I wanted to look at the study with you so you can see in detail what the difference is. And I'm just going to do a bit of voiceover guiding you through the study. If you're like, I cannot be asked to read it, I will link it in the description below anyway, so you can have a look at it. Now the thing is, if you look at the study later, you will see that the pressure is really important. So you cannot just go and inject by yourself, by how you feel like I add a bit more. Because the study shows that different pressures, in this case it's 0.5 bar, which is the ideal pressure, that different pressures have different effects. So if the pressure is too low, it's not good, and if it's too high, it's also not good for the plant. So here's the study, and you can read the headline. I'm not going to use this word because YouTube doesn't like it. Let's have a look. So the sucrose stem infusion at 0.5 bar increased cannabis flower dry mass by up to 31%. So that's what I said before. It's not a small difference, it's actually quite a bit difference. It's a big difference that you get out of just what you get in dry flower mass. And you can see the same for cannabinoid content, going up to 34% using 15 to 30% sucrose and low pressure. And that's what I mentioned before with the pressure, that high pressure doesn't work. So you cannot just put any amount of pressure on it, it will have a negative effect. Here's all the introduction to the study and different sucrose level used, different pressures used. To compare, this is the equipment they used, much more complicated than the Ampleafy kit, but that's why I said the Ampleafy kit is very simple. You can use it at home, it's light, it's easy. Here you can see they used a needle. The Ampleafy kit is using the rubber adapter, which works great. And what else? Let's go down to the interesting part. I will link this, you can read through all of it, you can look at all the graphs and see the difference. Here you can see at 0.5 bar, 30% sucrose, 15% sucrose was the best results. That's for cannabinoid yield. And here you can see it again, 15% even better overall in the average. And this graph is quite interesting because you can see at 0.5 bar, if you go to 30% sucrose, your cannabinoid yield actually going down slightly bit, but your dry mass is still going up at 30% compared to 15%. And that's it. I link it below, have a look, read through it, and try to understand the system. It's pretty simple, but it just works. So give it a try. Last year I tried it on one plant, and that was when the first people started contacting me and asking about it. And the results were actually great, I have to say, like for the short vegetative time that the plant had. And I added it in flower, which I will do in this run again. I will add it in flower and just help the plant through the flowering stage, which is the time where it's needed basically. And I have to say the results were great, so I want to try it again. I want to try it in different setups. My basic idea was to do a clone one-on-one comparison. Right now I cannot do it because I don't have the space for it, but this will come in the future for sure, so I will share this on the channel as well. But the basics are really simple. I mean, you give the plant something that it needs and that it cannot absorb easily from the soil, you know. I was talking to the guys from Ampleafy who make this kit, and I said to them, we have the same situation with our plant with the silica. You know, the silicon gets absorbed very slow through the soil. There are silica additives. You can add vermiculite, but the breakdown of vermiculite is also very slow and it goes slowly into the plant. So I said to the guy, hey, maybe look at adding some silica into the solution. So we'll see. Maybe something is coming out of that, because silica is very important for trichome production. So from that point of view, it would be a great idea, in my opinion, to make silica as available as possible to the plant, especially during flower. So trichome size and amount can be increased just by adding silica, which will help the plant in the process of making trichomes basically. If your experience grows and you just want something to play around with and to get a bit more, or actually it's not a bit, it's actually quite a lot as you see in the study, get a bit out of it or increase your yield even more, this is a great way to use it, because this is not like a product you mix into a water and you're watering the plants with. This goes straight into the plant and has a straight effect on your harvest and cannabinoid content. And I guess this is what the intermediate growers want, and I mean the professionals as well, but the professionals, they will use bigger systems for this. So this is aimed at the home grower, and give it a try and let me know. And if you have any more questions about this or you want to see a specific video, just let me know in the comments and I will make it. So easy. So I see you in the next one.